Hello viewer, this is your darling program Aqua Farming. My name is Joshua Ishaya, your regular host. The program Aqua Farming is designed to educate viewers on fisheries and aquaculture. And today on the program, we'll be looking at Niger Delta as a large fishery ecosystem. The Niger Delta region has several ecosystems that play an essential role for the sustenance of different habitats and life forms in the area. Some of the notable ecosystems include freshwater, swamp forests, lowland rainforests, mangrove forests, and their likes. In recent time, the rate of deforestation, excessive hunting of wildlife, bush burning, and intensive agricultural practices has increased in the region. Today's program will be looking at the potentials and threats of Niger Delta ecosystem region of Nigeria. The program will also find the rate of deforestation and other human activities in the area is having an impact on the various ecosystem in Niger Delta. This impact could be affecting biodiversity of the area, including mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and their likes, with regards to species diversity and population status. Furthermore, other role played by various ecosystems including source of medicinal plants, spawning grounds of fisheries, breeding and nesting grounds for migratory birds, shoreline protection, habitats for wildlife, among others, are under intense threats. Therefore, there is the need for improved enforcement surveillance to the various international and national legislation concerning biodiversity conservation and protection. Stay tuned and take a look at Niger Delta. Nigeria has a landmass of 923,770 square meters and is bordered to the north by the Niger and Chad Republic, east by Cameroon, and southernmost part by Atlantic Ocean. Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa, with about 180 million people. Nigeria is one of the largest populated countries in the world and about 1/3 of the total sub-Saharan African population. Nigeria is blessed with arable land for agricultural purposes, crude oil and natural gas deposits, and other mineral resources such as tin, iron, ore, coal, lead, zinc, limestone, niobium, and their likes. Nigeria has several water bodies which are distributed as freshwater, river, creek, creeklets, ponds, lakes, and streams, fresh and saltwater interface, and marine saltwater. The soil of the region varies according to types: clay, silt, and sand. The soil is a major direct recipient of human activities including food processing such as cassava processing, oil palm processing, waste from different settings including municipal waste. The aquatic ecosystem is also habitat to several biological species including fisheries and shellfish, some aquatic mammals, reptiles. Furthermore, a most static freshwater resources, especially in biospheric states, aquatic insects, some species of snails, freshwater shrimps, snakes, and fishes like catfish, algae, Water lilies, water hyacinths, and lettuce are frequently found in such habitats, while in flowing water bodies such as rivers, several species of fishes and macrophytes are found in the freshwater system. Animals including sharks, whales, dolphins are some diversity found in marine ecosystem. Nearly 2.6 to 3.0% of Nigerian landmass is wetlands, especially in Niger Delta region. According to experts, wetlands are characterized by marsh-firm water peatlands, which neither neutral or artificial, permanent or temporary, with static or flowing water which can either be estuarine fresh or marine with a depth of 6 meters at low tide. According to Olalekon, wetlands which are classified as bulk marsh or swamp based on the floral habitat and associated soil characteristics are terrestrial or semi-terrestrial ecosystem with low drainage quality, slow flowing water or stagnant water bodies. Experts reported that wetlands is a habitat to so many life forms that can adapt in a anoxic environment, especially macrophages. Nigeria has several species of wildlife comprising about 7,895 plant species, which are distributed into 338 families and 2,215 genera, over 22,000 vertebrate and invertebrate species, including 20,000 insects, about 100,000 birds, about 1,000 fishes, about 247 mammals, about 127 reptiles, 1,489 species of microorganisms. The authors reported out of the wildlife diversity, Nigeria about 0.14% and 0.22 is threatened and endangered, respectively, in attempt to protect biodiversity. Nigeria established several protected areas including 8 national parks, 445 forest reserves, 12 strict nature reserves, and 28 game reserves. Typically, Niger Delta consists of mangrove, lowlands, rainforest, freshwater forest, and aquatic ecosystem that provide services to the indigene of the region and to the West African economy at large. Several biodiversity is found in Niger Delta region. Biodiversity plays several ecological, social, and economic roles to mankind. For instance, insects play an essential role in pollination processes. Wildlife are a source of protein, hides, and skin, while plant resources are utilized for construction works as timber, shrubs, and herbs are mostly used for the treatment of several sicknesses and diseases. Also, reported that several wildlife have medical potentials, probably due to the roles described by diversity as life-sustaining system in the biosphere. But at present, several human activities is having an impact on the ecosystem. Therefore, this study focuses on the Niger Delta ecosystem with regard to its potentials and threats. According to research, the Niger Delta is predominantly a flat, low-flying sedimentary basin drained by Niger River, with several crisscross rivers, streams, creeks, creeklets that emptied into the Atlantic Ocean through the estuaries. Authors have variously reported that Niger Delta region, comprising of Ondo, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Imo, Abia, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states of Nigeria, consists approximately 70,000 square meters and the largest wetland in Africa, and the third largest in the world. Approximately 2,370 square kilometers of the Niger Delta region includes rivers, creeks, and estuaries. 8,600 square kilometers is made up of stagnant swamp. Probably due to the nature of the area, the major distinct ecosystems found in the zone include barrier island, ospreys, mangroves, freshwater swamps, lowland rainforests, creeks, and creeklets. Specifically, studies have mentioned the presence of 6 different ecological zones including rainforest, mangrove, flood forest zone, eastern flank, marsh forest zone, and barrier islands. Another study has classified the ecosystem to include rainforest, mangrove, freshwater swamps, mountain region, and derives savanna. This suggests Slight variation in authors' opinions about different ecological zones in Niger Delta. Typically, with the major ecological zones previously mentioned, many of them fall within the mangroves, estuary, marine, barrier island, freshwater forest, and lowland rainforest ecosystem. The Niger Delta ecosystem is highly diverse and can support several terrestrial and aquatic life forms. Land use change in Niger Delta including urban comprising land for residential, commercial services, industrial transportation, communications, industrial mixed urban and rural build-up, land farmland comprising of agricultural pasture and bare fields within the farmland, water involving stable and permanent surface water such as lakes, reservoirs, streams, estuaries and ocean, mangrove, and an area involving bakri swamp and beach forests with red and white mangroves and some protected area, lowland rainforests with protected areas, freshwater forests with protected areas, and bare ground, which are open lands without vegetable cover. Between 1987 and 2011, several land changes value occurred in Niger Delta. Hence, the three major ecosystems of the Niger Delta, including mangroves, lowlands, rainforest, and freshwater forests, are discussed in this subsection. The lowland rainforest is among the complex ecological zones in Niger Delta with regard to diversity of species. The rainforest zone is characterized by tall trees, layer stratum, which is characterized by thick cleansed forests with smooth bark trees of about 40 to 50 meters tall and oftentimes epiphytes and linears and attached to the bark of the trees. Big trees with canopy provide shade. Lower trees bear trunks and layer rich areas with mosses, small stem shrubs, lichens, herbs, and ferns. The vegetation found in rainforests are mainly used for timber, firewood, sawwood, particle board, pulp, paper, pulse, and traditional medicine, and some of the commonly found species include Cara avores. In Niger Delta, the freshwater swamp is situated between the lowland rainforest in the north and the mangrove swamp in the south. The freshwater forest swamp provides transition zone between the two ecosystems and a pathway for the migration of biodiversity. According to research, the Niger Delta freshwater swamp is silt laden from river Niger. The freshwater swamp is essential habitat for fisheries, particularly during the flooding period. The freshwater is also an important habitat for crayfish, prawn, crabs, and crocodile. The vegetation of freshwater forests is characterized by tall trees such as Musanga, Cecropoides, Annona, Senegalesis, Antholista, Vogeli, Elias guineacis, Harungana, Madagascariensis, Juncos, Pandanus, Raphia, Hokeri, Vanifera, Tectonia gradis. Majority of these plant species on the area is used as full food, medicine, boat carving, and it also protect the shoreline. Furthermore, fresh water are water resources that are mostly used for domestic purposes, including drinking, bathing, cooking. The areas with freshwater resources are often referred to as freshwater swamps. Within the freshwater swamps, other habitats such as riparian and arable farmlands are common. In Niger Delta, several studies have reported biodiversity in some freshwater swamps. Niger Delta region has several freshwater creeks and creeklets, and they are called by several names. For instance, in Bayelsa State, some notable water bodies include Epic Creek, Sabama Creek, Okoli Creek, Kolo Creek, Taylor Creek, Nun River, among others. Most freshwater resources in the area are linked into estuarine from where they emptied into ocean. The activities of the market ships oil refinery on Nun River estuary is having an impact on the physiochemical characteristics of water, sediment, and microinvertebrates, leading to severe impact on mangroves plants and macroinvertebrates, such as Mafisa, Lubrineris, Lilela, Mandipi species, Mafisa. In the Niger Delta, several macrophages have been reported in surface water, including Economia, Croceps, Nephera lotus, Ammacolate, Perseus, Stratos, Salivia, Nemophila. Among others, in the terrestrial habitat, several plant species have been reported in the area in the terrestrial ecosystem of the freshwater swamps. Several plant species have been reported in Niger Delta region. The importance of freshwater swamp forest ecosystem is poorly studied and estimated and understood. The Niger Delta ecosystem is fragile with several useful resources for the people of the region, such as exploring its sustainability will help to maximize the potential of the ecosystem. In addition to the three major ecosystems in Niger Delta derived, savanna comprising different types of grasses, shrub, and relatively few trees is also found in the northern part of the region, according to research. The savanna in the region may have derived from secondary rainforest, which is reduced to open woodland due to agricultural activities and consistent human activities such as it becomes difficult for the trees and the area to mature. The authors further reported that land shortage due to population growth, industrialization, and urbanization as major cause of the ripe savanna in the area. The Niger Delta wetlands have been referred to as largest biodiversity hotspots in Africa that inhabit several species as endemic region. Another report has it that several biodiversity that are internationally and locally endangered are also found in Niger Delta region. Typically, biodiversity involves all species of life forms including plants, animals, and microbes that play essential role in the ecosystem. Several species of plant mammals, reptiles, avian fauna, amphibians, fisheries, insects, microbes have been reported in Niger Delta ecosystem. For instance, Akani reported the presence of 28 species that belong to the genera Bufo have been found in oil gas facilities 4 locations in southern Nigeria between 1996 to 2002. Several species of biodiversity have been reported in Niger Delta region. Some are endemic, while several others are threatened, endangered, or critically endangered. According to Ikeme, Niger Delta is home to some endemic species including scarlet, guinean, and the rest. Different locations in Niger Delta region have been reported through survey questionnaire, semi-structured interviews, and sighing. In Bayelsa State, the presence of 21 marine species sold in Swali Market, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State as bushmeat. Some other notable wildlife species survive in the market include Cercosphaera monama, Cercopithecus sclateri, Cercopetus nyctalis, and the likes. Now, let's look at the potentials of Niger Delta wetlands. Wetlands play essential ecological, social, and economic roles according to reports. Wetlands have the tendencies to break down and assimilate pollutants. In the Niger Delta, the wetland resources is essential because it's source of fuel, wood, timbers, etc. used for art and construction works. Breeding ground for several wildlife, nestling arena for migratory birds, spawning place for different fish species, and source of plants with insecticidal and antimicrobial properties. The region has been widely reported as area of endemic species of biodiversity including plants, mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians. The Niger Delta ecosystem forest products include food, fuel wood, protein source, crabs, crayfish, fishes, prawn, periwinkles, snails, and other raw materials. Some of the biodiversity, including plants and animals, have some medicinal uses. This is because fat or skins of some animals are used in treating some certain diseases in humans in addition to their food purposes. For instance, Costanetor, who stated that the tusks of hippo, that's hippopotamus amphibious, can be used for aphrodisiacs and ornamentals, and the fat extracted from manatee can be used to cure rheumatism, boils, and backache. Costanetor also reported that the blood of the black carman can treat epilepsy and stroke. Ants of the genus can be used for treatment of toothache and relieving painful joint pains. The various anatomical parts of the rattlesnake are used for the treatment of infirmities ranging from boils to bronchitis. This special manual of dormitory is applied extremely on the effect parts to alleviate fat of lion. The rate of deforestation is highly linked to the loss of valuable plants and animals' habitats, thereby exposing them to excessive exploitation. According to research, World Fat Book in 2005 reported that Nigeria is one of the leading countries with high forest loss in the world of 3.3% and 37.7% since 1990. Between 1990 to 2005, Nigeria has lost 79% of her forests, thereby challenging its sustainability. In the environment, different species of biodiversity comprising of plants and animals are needed to ecological balance in the food web chain, but the rate of degradation or loss is high without corresponding replacement, thereby causing a major threat to humans and environment itself. Some of the effects of environmental degradation include increased rate and intensity of erosion, flooding, etc. You're still on to the first agricultural TV station in Nigeria. My name remains Joshua, your regular host when it comes to anything in the water. And of course, today we're looking at Niger Delta. Mangrove lowland rainforest and freshwater forest ecosystem of Niger Delta, which is essential for survival or surveillance parameters of plants and animals under intense threats due to human activities in the region. This is having impact on the biodiversity of the ecosystem, thereby predisposing some species to IUCN classifications such as threatened, endangered, and extinction. Today's program has looked at the lowland rainforest and the major ecosystem being lost. The loss of ecosystem due to human activities is a threat to the ecological role of Niger Delta forests, including protection of shoreline, breeding ground for several migratory birds, spawning ground to both shells and fins, habitats to several endemic wildlife. Hence the need for improved enforcement surveillance of the various international legislation, treaties concerning the protection and conservation of biodiversity in which Nigeria is part of, as well as national and local law promoting diversity conservation. With that, we come to the end of the program Aqua Farming. My name remains Joshua Ishaya, your regular host. Bye for now.